Great thinkers. Welcome back. Squid Game is still on the rise, and going strong, by gaining global recognition, like no other serial show. With its original premise, and lethal children's games, with a twisted plot, and compelling characters, each episode of Squid Game contains several life lessons that I found valuable. So, obviously, I have to share them with you, but, heads up. There are obviously a few spoilers coming. So, if you haven't watched it yet, but you plan on it, don't say, I didn't inform you. Here are the useful life lesson from Squid Game. Before we start it, make sure hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, click on the bell icon for more future videos notification, and make sure share with your friend and family. Let's start now. Number 1. Rich people get bored when they have too much of money. Larry Ellison once said, in an interview, that he's kind of bored, and there's nothing left for him to buy. He's splurged on jets, yachts, sports team, thousands of art pieces, plenty of real estate all over the world, including houses, buildings, palaces, bunkers, and even islands. In this show, when you combine money, affluence, and a total disregard for human lives, you get a threatening survival competition, the Squid Game. Here, a bunch of rich people that decided to kill their boredom by taking it to the next level, and playing God with the lives of plenty of people, without any shred of accountability for their actions. It's all an allegory for modern-day, capitalist society. Thankfully, the real thing isn't as violent. Number 2, the choices we make in life determine our future. Red light is stop, green light go, mechanic blue color, CEO is white color. Single life is freedom and independence. Relationship life means love and commitment. Every single, we make life-altering choices, whether we are aware of it or not. And all of the Squid Game participants make one such choice the moment that they agree to play the DESPERATIon game with a mysterious young-looking stranger. Red tile means guard, and blue tile means player. None of them knew what they were getting themselves into, but they would soon find out that their greed and desperation sentenced them to a life-threatening game. Every choice is important and crucial. Never forget that. Number 3, try to slow down. We all can agree on one thing: constantly rushing through life isn't an effective way to live. In the Squid Game, this game concept is made crushingly clear, as player after player pays the ruthless price for rushing ahead. The first game of red light, green light, proved this, right from the start. Proceed with caution, if you want to outlast, and most importantly, make sure do not get panic. As soon as the first player missteps, and face the consequence, players begin to panic, and even more lives are lost in the chaos. Slowing down, and keeping your cool, can get you a lot further than you think. Number 4, kindness comes back to you. Within the show, is a strong focus on the importance of being kind to each other. No matter what state you're in, or what status they may or may not have. Sung Gi-hoon treats the old man, Oh Il-nam, with kindness, include him in the games, and acknowledging him. Even though he didn't seem to like Kang Se-byuk at first, Gi-hoon still offered her kindness when it mattered. His outlook of seeing all these characters as friends first, before competition, is a light of hope. Otherwise, it's a dark trauma that they are all trapped in. The kindness pays off, like kindness always does, and it finds a way to bless the giver even more. Number 5, brains can be better asset than bronze when it focus on good use. Physical strength is nothing without strategy. In the tug-of-war game, Gi-hoon's team is unequally paired with a team of strong young men. Despite being outmatched, his team manages to work out in 2 ways to trip up their opponents during the game. Strategy and teamwork won the game, not just strength. Number 6, always be extra careful who you trust. Ali was proof that only being nice won't get you very far in life. That's the way of human nature works. of all the betrayal that happens in Squid Game. Disgraced banker, Cho Sang-woo, betray the Ali, the Pakistani worker, was the most gut-wrenching and heartbroken scene ever. We have to remember that some people will exploit your kindness for their own selfish reasons, just because they can. Unfortunately, the world is full of people like this. That's why it's so important to be a source of good in the world, and the best way is to do that, is to strive for personal growth. Learn what's holding you back by checking out another one of our previous videos about 10 life-changing books that you should read when you're young. The number 7, the yin-yang concepts. In ancient Chinese philosophy, the yin-yang is a concept of dualism, of how opposite forces are interconnected and interdependent. In the natural world, and in us human, as you guessed it, we have this dualism in the show as well. We have balance, we have the bad and the good, we have the good and the bad, we have the good, we have the bad, and if annoying was a human, we have this lady as annoying character. The number 8, desperation and greediness, brings out the difficulties in people. The slow burn of Cho Sang-woo, vicious side shows the worst side of us, the side that greed and desperation reveal. He pushes fellow players to their death. In the penal game, before the final game begins, he murders the injured and defenseless Kang Se-byuk. Even Gi-hun is tempted to set aside his morals in his desperation. He makes use of Il-nam's unfortunate memory loss to trick him, to win their game of marbles. It's easy to think, you will never have to compromise your morals like this, but the only way to avoid it is to ensure that you don't expose yourself in such a desperate situation, by making sure your wealth and health are secure. The number 9, do not lose hope in humanity. Overall, the inhumanity on display in the series is hard to stomach, and still walk away, feeling hopeful for anything, but if you think about it. The final confrontation between Il-nam and Gi-hun can inspire some hope for humankind. The two make one last wager. Will someone come to save a homeless man that freezing on the street before the midnight? Hope is restored when people do come to help the man, showing that Gi-hun, that there is good left in the world. In turn, this inspires him to fulfill his promise to look after his friends' families and take down the game. Life can seem really harsh, but there is always a reason for hope. Sometimes it just requires a shift in perspective. If you can't see the light of hope. The number 10, after you win in your life game, you can alter your future and choose a new path. If you remember, Gi-hun dyed his hair red at the end of the season, making a statement that his eyes were open and he was ready to take responsibility for his life and choices. Red is a power play in Korea. It means masculine and dominant color, and if you are associated with red, it shows a message that you mean business and you are one badass person. Whether you signal it loud and proud about your new direction, or are keeping your cards close to the chest, you are the one calling the shot. Always pick your path wisely. Great thinkers, that's a wrap on Squid Game's most valuable lessons. But there are definitely more, and we are hoping you could help us out with that. What are the valuable lessons did you learn from the show? Did anything had made you think hard about life? Please provide your comment on the comment section area, and I will be right there with you. And if you stuck around watching for the tips, and today's tips is, addiction is real. One thing all the Squid players had in common is that they are heavily in debts. Addiction has a real consequence, and Gi-hun is paying the price for his gambling addiction. He's in debt, virtually estranged from his child, and unable to help his illness mother. His only option is to put his life on the line, and try to win some money through joining the game. He's in such a bad place, that even after the first game ends, he's still forced to return, trying to win the money. Addiction is that can be easily shrugged off, or misunderstood, but in reality, it's something that should always be taken seriously. There is no shame in seeking help or treatment. In fact, it shows nothing but pure strength. If you enjoy this video, Please hit the like button, subscribe for more informative content, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.